Hello students, welcome to examination preparatory classes. We are dealing with the subject risk management and insurance, and in this video we will be studying unit 2 of risk management and insurance. First we'll understand the concept of risk measurement. After risk identification process, the next step in the risk management process is to estimate both the frequency and severity of the potential losses. In this way, the risk manager obtains information that is helpful in determining the relative importance of identified risk and in selecting particular technique for managing those risks. Well, we'll understand the severity of losses. Severity is the likely size of the loss. It is derived from expected losses of the group likely to buy a policy. In simple terms, it is the average of losses suffered by members of a common group divided by the expected number of member of the group. Techniques of estimating frequency and severity. The first one is risk profiling. It is also called risk mapping. The second technique is statistical concepts. The third technique is loss distributions used in risk management. And fourth one is integrated risk measure. We will just understand what is risk profiling or risk mapping. A technique for profiling pure risk as a step towards analyzing risk and prioritizing them is to map the risk in a matrix. The purpose of risk profiling is to identify those risks that seem to be most significant, the greatest, so that priority attention can be given to those risks. The matrix allows for more grading in the prioritization of the risk. Statistical concepts, the second technique. Some essential concepts from the field of probability and statistics are random variable, probability, measures of central tendency, measures of variation, skewness, loss distribution used in risk management. Probability distribution can be very useful tool for evaluating the expected frequency and or severity of losses due to identified risk. In risk management, two types of probability distribution are used: empirical and theoretical. There are three theoretical probability distribution used widely in management. The first one is binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, normal distribution, and the last technique of estimating frequency and severity is integrated risk measure. The assessment of risk in an integrated risk framework requires additional quantification techniques. There are two approaches which are used for this particular purpose, students. The first one is called VAR, that is value at risk, and the second one is called risk adjusted return on capital. Risk control. So we'll understand the concept of risk or loss control. A major issue for risk manager is the decision about how much money is spent on the various forms of loss control. The general rule is that to justify expenditure, the expected gain from an investment in loss control should be least equal to the expected cost. This comparison of cost and benefit, which is similar to the financial decision making used for other capital budgeting issues. Loss control is an organized and usually continuous effort to help to decrease the possibility of unforeseen losses and the impact of those that do occur. Loss control can be applied to all kinds of losses, such as those caused by fires, electrical surges, burglary, car crashes, hurricanes, or just about anything that causes unexpected harm, injuries, or damage. Now, students, we will understand the two types of loss control, which are as follows: loss prevention, loss reduction. Now, what we mean by loss prevention? It refers to measures that reduce the frequency of a particular loss. Loss prevention, as we can understand by the name itself, focuses on stopping loss from further or future happening. The foremost purpose of loss prevention is to preserve human life. That is, a risk manager's first goal in a loss prevention program is to reduce or eliminate the change of death or injury to people. The second type, loss reduction. Risk reduction involves, or loss reduction involves, methods that reduce the severity of the loss or the likelihood of the loss from occurring. In this method, that is loss reduction or risk reduction, the business reduces risk by taking appropriate steps for prevention of business risk or avoiding loss. Such steps include adaptation of safety programs. For example, like installation of burglar alarm and fire extinguisher, employment of night security guard, arranging for medical care and disposal of waste material, etc. Techniques of loss control. Loss or risk control is a conscious act or decision not to act that reduces the frequency and or severity of losses or makes losses more predictable. Following are the techniques of loss control, students. The first one is risk avoidance, loss prevention, loss reduction, separation, duplication, diversification. I'll explain one by one. First, we'll take risk avoidance. The most effective way of managing any loss exposure is to avoid the exposure completely. If a loss exposure has successfully been avoided, then the probability of loss from that particular exposure is zero. Avoidance is a risk control technique that involves ceasing or never undertaking an activity so that the possibility of a future loss occurring from that particular activity is completely eliminated. Then the second technique of loss control is loss prevention. It is a risk control technique that reduces the frequency of a particular loss. The third technique of loss control, loss reduction. Loss reduction is a technique that not only accepts risk but accepts the fact that loss might occur as a result of the risk. This technique will seek to minimize the loss in the event of some type of threat. Separation, that is the fourth technique of loss control. Separation is a risk control technique that involves dispersing key assets. This ensures that if something catastrophic occurs at one location, the impact to the business is limited to the assets only at that particular location. An example of this is when a company utilizes a geographically diversified workforce. Fifth technique of loss control is duplication. Duplication is a risk control technique that essentially involves the creation of a backup plan. This is often necessary with technology. A failure with an information system server should not bring the whole business to a halt. The last technique of loss control is diversification. Diversification is a risk control technique that allocates business resources to create multiple lines of business that offer a variety of products and services in different or various sectors and industries. With diversification, a significant revenue loss from one line of business will not cause irreparable harm to the company's bottom line. Risk financing techniques. Risk financing is the technique that provides for the funding of losses after they occur. Major risk financing techniques include risk retention, risk or non-insurance transfers, and then commercial insurance. Students will try to understand each technique. First, we'll take risk retention. It involves accepting the loss or benefit of gain from a risk when it occurs. Risk retention is a viable strategy for small risk where the cost of insuring against the risk would be greater over time than the total losses sustained. All risks that are not avoided or transferred are retained by default. This includes risks that are so large or catastrophic that they either cannot be insured against or the premiums would be infeasible. Then we should know the different forms of risk retention: planned retention, unplanned retention, funded retention, as well as unfunded retention. Then we'll go to risk or non-insurance transfers. Now, before going to risk or non-insurance transfers, we'll understand the advantages of risk retention. The major advantages of risk retention would be you are saving the money, then lower expenses, you are avoiding the loss, that is encouraging the loss prevention, and increasing the cash flow. Okay, so after understanding the advantages of risk retention, we will go to the next technique, that is risk or non-insurance transfers. Risk transfers are methods other than insurance by which a pure risk and its potential financial consequences are transferred to another party. In other words, under this method, a person who is subject to risk may induce another person to assume the risk. Some of the popular techniques used for transfer of risk are hedging strategy, subcontracting, entering into indemnity contracts, etc. Now, methods of risk transfers include hold armless agreements, incorporation, diversification, hedging, and insurance. Now, what could be the advantages of risk transfers? The risk manager can transfer some potential losses that are not commercially insurable. Non-insurance transfers often cost less than insurance. The potential loss may be shifted to someone who is in a better position to exercise loss control. Then the third technique of risk financing is commercial insurance. Commercial insurance is the method of managing and spreading the risk among many business owners. Premium is collected from number of covered businesses by the insurance companies. Further, a pool of money is created and invested to pay out to a covered business if that business has a covered loss. Commercial insurance is actually a broad name given for different types of coverages available to the business owner to protect against losses and to ensure the continuing operations of the business. Risk retention techniques. The first one could be use of available cash, establishment of loss reserves, use of borrowed funds, and last, self-insurance techniques. Risk pooling arrangement and diversification. Pooling refers to the spreading losses incurred by few over the entire group so that average loss is substituted for actual loss. Pooling, this is the situation where the actual role of underwriters and actuaries can be seen. Advances issues in risk management. Risk managers of corporations have started focusing more on verifying their company's compliance with federal environmental regulations. Risk managers began to assess environmental risk such as those arising from pollution, waste management, and other environmental liability to help make their companies more profitable and competitive. Risk managers have been called upon to help businesses manage risk associated with increased reliance on the internet. The importance of online business activities in maintaining relationship with customers and suppliers, communicating with employees and advertising products and services has offered companies many advantages, but it has also exposed them to new security risk and liability issues. Financial risk. Financial risk is the risk of losses inherent in financial transactions. We have interest rate risk and currency risk. Interest rate risk is the chance that an unexpected change in interest rates will negatively affect the value of an investment. For example, a bank's main source of profit is converting the liabilities of deposits and borrowings into assets of loans and securities. It profits by paying a lower interest on its liabilities than it earns on its assets. The difference in these rates is the net interest margin. Banks make money by borrowing at short-term rates and lending at long-term rates. This creates interest rate risk, which is in case of banks, is the risk that interest rate will rise, causing the bank to pay more for its liabilities and thus reducing its profits. Now students, we will understand currency risk. It is a form of risk that arises from the change in the price of one currency against another. So whenever a businesses or investors or companies have assets or business operations across national borders, they face currency risk if their positions are not hedged well in advance. So in currency risk, we have transaction risk as well as translation risk. Insurance market dynamics. Until 1st April 2000, the Indian insurance industry comprised of mainly two state insurers. Post deregulation, after the private insurance players started entering the competition, it has been seen that marked changes in the market dynamics. So we have insurance market dynamics. Basically, they're into three types, that is underwriting cycle, consolidation in the insurance industry, securitization of risk. Now we will study one by one. Underwriting cycle. The underwriting cycle refers to the tendency for commercial property and liability insurance markets to fluctuate between periods of tight underwriting with high insurance premiums and loose underwriting with low insurance premiums. Consolidation in the insurance industry. There are three types of consolidation which are generally occurring. The first one is insurance company mergers and acquisitions, insurance brokerage mergers and acquisitions, and cross-industry consolidations. The third one is securitization of risk. Securitization is the process of conversion of existing assets or future cash flows into marketable securities. Now, if you want to study some of the examples of securitization, Citibank carved out car loan portfolio to ICICI Bank. The HUDCO, that is Housing and Urban Development Corporation Limited, which finances infrastructure finance, wanted to securitize its future receivables. Loss forecasting. An important risk identification tool is that of statistical analysis of the past losses, that is the historical losses. This method is primarily applicable to very large firms. Some of the characteristics of past losses, what we call it as historical losses, that may prove to be important in this regard include cause of loss, the absolute amount of the loss involved, and particular employees involved in such loss. The risk manager may use the following below mentioned techniques to forecast the losses. They are the probability analysis, the statistical analysis, as well as the law of large numbers. Financial analysis in risk management. Financial analysis can be in the risk management, which can be done through the following steps or ways. The first one is time value of money, and the second is financial analysis applications. Now we'll understand each thing. Time value of money. Risk management decisions are likely to involve cash flows in different time periods. Therefore, the time value of money must be considered. The time value of money means that when valuing cash flows in different time periods, the interest earning capacity of money must be taken into consideration. As the basic concept of time value of money is, a rupee received today is worth more than a rupee received after 1 year from today, because the rupee received today can be invested immediately to earn interest upon that. Therefore, when evaluating cash flows in different time periods, it is important to adjust rupee values to reflect earnings of the interest. Financial analysis application. There are again two ways: analyzing insurance coverage bids and then loss control investment decisions. Risk management tools. Apart from the advanced risk management tools, the below mentioned are the other types of risk management tools, which are as follows. One we call it as RMIS, that is Risk Management Information Systems. Then intranet and risk management sites, risk maps, then very important, that is VAR analysis, that is value at risk analysis. Now what is this risk management information system, RMIS? It is computerized database that enables risk manager to store and analyze risk management data and to use that data for forecasting and control future losses. RMIS can be of great help for making decisions in risk management. RMIS are often offered by independent RMIS vendors, or they can be developed within the organization. Risk map. Some organizations are developed or they are developing sophisticated risk maps. Risk maps are nets of detailed potential frequencies and intensity of risk facing organizations. Risk manager must analyze every risk that organization is facing in order to define a risk map. Additionally, other risks like property risk, liability risk, personal risk, financial risk, and many more that pertain in enterprises can be included in the risk map. Intranet and risk management websites. Some risk management departments have established their own websites. Additionally, some organizations expanded their traditional risk management website into risk management intranet. Intranet, students, please understand, it is intra, within the organization. Intranet is the website designed for limited internal public with the search capability. Then VAR analysis, that is value at risk analysis. VAR is another tool to measure the likelihood that the loss of a given portfolio of assets or liabilities exceeds some threshold based on normal market conditions. Students, thank you so much for watching this video. But my request to all the students is you should revise thoroughly so that you are clear with the concepts. So thank you once again for watching this video, students.